Welcome back to Thalias Cakes. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a kawaii ice cream narwhal cake using these gorgeous sprinkles from Sprinkle Pop. If this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you enjoy dessert making and cake decorating, you might want to consider hitting that subscribe button. Alright, let's get started. So I baked two 5-inch ball cake pans. I left one of the halves face down so that I had like a flat surface at the bottom. And then the other one, I left it facing the other way so that way it could have a round top. I leveled both of them out with my serrated knife and got 4 cake layers. Then I went back and cut 3 of the cake layers into a slant, but I left the top dome shape the same. And once that was set, I stacked them all on each other so that way I could make sure that I was happy with the shape. Now we can go ahead and fill and stack this cake. Now that that's set, I'm going to give this a thin buttercream layer all around so that way I can lock in any loose crumbs. Alright, now we can move on to the fun part. I didn't want to just decorate the outer side of the cake with just sprinkles. I also wanted to incorporate more sprinkles, but in the inside. You gotta make it fun here, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to cut out a hole using my cookie cutter, then placing in the sprinkles. Then I'm going to cover it back up with the cake top. Now I can give this cake a final coat of buttercream. Since this cake is a round cake, I'm gonna need to use something to smooth it out really nice. So what I like to do is get a strawberry container, cut out a square, and then use that to smooth it out. And it works perfect. So you're gonna wanna start from the very bottom and gently swipe up. Then clean off the buttercream off of the plastic after every swipe. And then you should get something nice and smooth like this. Alright, this cake is now ready to be covered in fondant. I already rolled out some white fondant. Now I'm going to drape this over my cake and smooth it on. And once that's set, I'm going to remove the excess fondant. For the pink ice cream drip, I decided to use this bright pink color. So I went ahead and made my very own splat template. I don't know what else to call it. What do you think? We call it splat, right? I suggest you placing some shortening onto your fondant first and then placing on your template so that way the paper will hold on while you cut. And once that was set, I used some water to stick on my ice cream splat. Now I can show you guys how I make your cute little kawaii face. This is actually my second kawaii cake. You have to stay tuned for the very first one that I made. I haven't gotten a chance to edit that video yet, so stay tuned. For the eyes, I placed down a black circle and then I added 2 white dots for the catch light, making one bigger than the other. And lastly, I added on some eyelashes. For the cheeks, I started out with a little log of pink and flattened that down. Then used one of my piping tips to cut it out like this. And then I added it under her eyes. To add the ice cream cone, I'm using the cone to make an indent. I'm kind of using it as a guide so that way I know where to cut. Then I brushed on some gum paste glue around the rim and then placed in the ice cream cone. This narwhal cake is now ready for a little razzle dazzle. I placed the sprinkles on one by one using gum paste glue. And I just had fun with it. There wasn't no special pattern or anything. I just randomly placed them where I thought looked best. It is now time for another cake tutorial subscriber request. Let's see. I got one.
Let's see what it says.
Buttercream flower rose tutorial. Okay, and that is requested by Ryan. Your girl can't read. Give me a second. Requested from Ryan. I'm sorry, girl. I so butchered your name. Congratulations! Just give me about 2 to 3 weeks to make the tutorial. These tutorials take longer than what you think to make, so just stay tuned for that. And also, just so you guys know, I am closing my tutorial requests so that way I can get to all the other ones, and once I finish all of those, I'll open them back up. To make the tail, I use white gum paste. I started out by rolling out a ball. I rolled the ball back and forth in a slant and cut right down the middle of the fatter side. Then I spreaded that open and I started to form out the fin. To attach the tail to the cake board, I'm making a hole on the cake board, then using these cake pop sticks to make a hole as to where I need the sticks to go inside the tail. I took them back out and placed on some hot glue into the hole. Then I placed in the cake pop sticks and glued them together to make them more sturdy. I'm going to brush on some gum paste glue and then slide on the tail. Once that was set, I placed some styrofoam right behind the tail so that way it could hold up and dry overnight. Now I can add my final touches to the cake. For the water, I decided to use this turquoise buttercream. So I began by spreading this around the cake board using this offset spatula. And then I used the back of a spoon to help spike it up to make it look like waves. I wasn't crazy about the way it looked with all the water surrounding it, so I said, Narwhals live in the cold, so it'd be smart to take some off of the cake board and let the white of the cake board represent the ice. I made the narwhal some fins and stuck in some toothpicks to help them hold up on each side. I also went ahead and made some water splashes using fondant mixed with Thalias powder. I let this sit for a couple of hours and then they were good to go. Before placing them in, I do recommend using an actual toothpick to make the hole first and then place in your water drop. Welcome to Just the Narwhal. I'm extremely happy on how this cake came out. I love it so much. Please tag me on Instagram or Facebook if you do recreate this cake, because I would love to repost it and share it with others on my social media. Okay. Question: when and how did you get into cake decorating? I will be leaving my answer down below in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit that notification bell next to the subscribe button so that way you'll be notified every time I upload a new cake tutorial. And lastly, if you're new here, please don't forget to hit that circle button right over here to subscribe to my channel to continue to receive more awesome content like this and like this. Thank you so much for watching. God bless. It's a shame. I'm again, girl, I'm so sorry about this. I don't know.